thank you so much to all of you Bermudians in the room. Did I say that right? I recognize now that I'm going to become a Burmese. Picking up a little bit around here. No, it's such a blessing, I have to say, to be here and the hospitality that all of you have shown. My mom and I, this is my first time here in Bermuda. This is my mom's second time, and it's been nothing short of fabulous. I can tell you right now that I will be spreading the word about Bermuda when I go home. It's on Facebook and social media because this is truly one of the best kept secrets. And I have heard of Bermuda, obviously. I mean, I know my geography, but it's just beautiful, beautiful people, and it's been a great experience. And my family and I will definitely be back, along with other friends of mine. And I'm so thankful to be here. My friend Layla Ali was your original spokesperson. She was going to be here to speak for you. And she called and said, Lisa, I committed to something and I have to be in two places at one time and I need your help. And I just said, well, when do you need me to be there? What date? And I'll do whatever I can. And so here I am filling in for one of my sisters. And I'm just so thankful because that's how God works. Nothing happens by chance. Great experience for me. So I'm here to share my story with you. It's not Layla Ali's story, but our stories are quite different. But, you know, at the end of the day, we got to the same place. And so I'll start with you. I started playing basketball when I was 12 years old. But before playing basketball, when I was 7, I would write my name all over everything in the house. And my mom was like, Lisa, why are you writing down your name? And I said, because one day I want to give out autographs. So she said, well, who do you want to give autographs out to? And I said, I haven't decided who my audience is yet, but I know that I want to give out autographs. So it's like, you know, out of the mouths of babes, right? Just you speak it out, and then it comes to pass. So, and I know that when I was 7 years old, I accepted the Lord as my Savior. So I know that people practice a lot of different religions, but I'm just going to talk about me, okay? So don't be offended. But for me, I was always a prayerful child, and God knew. He's a funny guy, right? Look at me, I'm 6'5". I'm like, okay, the joke's over. Calm down. But I think that as a child, I was so prayerful, and I knew that I wanted to be somebody. And so the purpose of my speech today is about purpose, and I knew that God had a purpose for me. So again, I'm signing autographs and I see a woman on television and she was a weather reporter. And I'm like, that's it, I want to be a weather reporter. I thought I wanted to be a weather reporter because I saw a woman on TV and she was nice, you know, dressed nice. And I thought, that's it, I'm going to be a weather reporter. And I don't know, somehow I'm going to sign autographs. Looking at the sun, you know, signing autographs. I don't know. But in my head as a kid, you know, I was just thinking, I was like, God, what is my purpose? I wanted to understand what is my purpose. And so when I got to second grade, my teacher called my mom, and she's like, excuse me, Miss Leslie, I wasn't sure if you were aware, but Lisa is head and shoulders taller than everyone in the class, including me. So my mom says, well, her dad is 6'4", and I'm 6'3", and the teacher's like, oh, okay, well, excuse the call. So it was something obviously different about me, even as a kid. I was taller than everyone else, and as all of you said in this room, oh my God. You're so tall, right? I've been hearing this since I was in the second grade. And I'm thinking, I don't know what to say to you guys other than this is what God gave me. And I thought, you know what? Do the best that you can with what you got. None of us push buttons and pick what color we are, how our hair is going to be. Lord knows we didn't pick our hair. You know, there's a lot of things that we just are what we are. Our nose, our eyes, our everything we have. You have to be thankful for what you got, right? And so one of my first lessons was that my mom was constantly, and I thank God for the mom that I had, because my mom was constantly telling my sisters and I all of these positive affirmations. Always. My mom is so positive. This is raining outside. She said, don't worry because the rain's going to go away. I mean, my mom's always so positive. So when we were kids, she said things to us like, you can't receive anything with a closed fist, so you always want to have an open hand and make sure that you're giving to others. So, you know, the kid, you're like, what? Okay. But she said it to us all the time. She said, listen, let me tell you about the 7 P's. So we're like, okay, Mom. Now, again, my sisters and I can quote my mom verbatim. But the 7 P's are this. Listen up. Proper prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. Now, every now and then I don't usually leave the piss in, but we're here, so I figure I just leave that in for you. But my mom would tell us that all the time, so I'm like, Mommy, what does that mean? So she's like, if you're going to do it right. Do it right the first time, and do it the best you can. Otherwise, you're going to have to come back and do it again, right? So, she constantly tells us these types of things. My mom would always tell us, Lisa, we're tall. Some people grow on the inside, and some people grow on the outside. And our family's been blessed enough to do both. So we have to be thankful for being tall. And for all the little people who comment about your height, it's because they wish they were tall. Raise your hand. All right. So again, my mom's just basically feeding me all of these positive things about myself. And what I found when I got to a certain stage was that I had to learn to love myself. And the key I say to a lot of young women when I speak is learn to love yourself, learn to work with what you have. Because we're all special in our own way, and when we come together, it's a beautiful thing. But what happens is for us young girls, we don't learn to love ourselves because there's a lot of things in the world that don't really reinforce us loving ourselves, right? We as a community, as a village, don't necessarily reinforce each other and how to love yourself. So the things that I'm most grateful for is the fact that I come from a mom who, as a single parent, taking care of 3 girls on her own, she was constantly feeding us all of these positive things that we could do. You could do it. So I'll tell you a little bit. My mom, as a single mom, drove an 18-wheeler truck. Now, I've seen your streets, and I don't even know if you guys have 18-wheeler trucks. But, so beautiful here. But an 18-wheeler truck is pretty bad, you know what, right? So my mom would drive these trucks, and we're looking like, man, she's so strong. She climbed up in her truck. But my mom always had 2 things. Her fingernails polished, and her lipstick tucked in her bra. So my sisters and I would watch her, and she's driving, but she's up and put on her lipstick. She's got her nails polished, but she's moving this 18-wheeler. She drives across country. She's tough, right? But she always maintained her femininity. So for us, it was again another message, another example. As my role model, I said, hey, I picked up a basketball when I was 12 years old, and I said, okay, I don't really like basketball. I'll just let you in on a secret. Basketball wasn't my thing. I didn't like sweating. I'm just being honest with you, I like looking cute. I like wearing pink. But I was a perfect child, right? So God knows what he's doing. He's in charge. So I go to this basketball practice, and I tell the coach, okay, I'll try out because I'm tall. At this time, I'm like 6'1", 12 years old. I know. Some of you guys haven't gotten here yet, right? 6'1", I wear a size 12 shoe, and I was 12 years old. I'm like, Lord, really? 12 shoe? Act your age, not your shoe size? Oh, that's right, we said they're the same. Yeah, so here I am, I have the kids talking about me, they're teasing me, I'm tall, just as all of you said to me tonight, right? Oh my God, you're so tall. Even at 6 foot, that's really tall for a 12-year-old, right? So people were telling me about my height, the fact that I'm tall, but the destiny was that I played basketball. So I picked up this ball, and the very first day of practice, I'm a left-hander. I'm still a left-hander to this day. So I go and make the left-hand layup, and all the girls are on the right-hand side. So I'm standing over here like, really? Nobody else is left-handed, right? If I'm not different enough, there's no other left-handers out here. So 20 girls who are trying out go and make right-hand layups while I stand alone on the left side and make my left-hand layup. So I said, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to be right-handed. No lie. And the next day I came back and I got in the right-hand line. So I made, because you want to fit in. You don't know. You just want to conform to what everybody else is doing. And these are the life lessons that I would look at and think about the decisions that I would make based on other people, because we want to fit in. We want everybody to like us. And you don't understand when you're 12 and 13 that it's about finding out who you are and being happy with what God gave you, right? And so I go, and I've been playing right-handed ever since. Who knew that I should have stayed left-handed in basketball? But anyway, I started playing basketball, and I said, you know what? I told the coach, as long as I don't fall down, I'll come back. So back then, we didn't play in nice arenas. We played outside on the concrete, like you see most kids play. So, you know, the asphalt, I didn't want to sweat. I definitely didn't want to skin up my knee. You know, so luckily I didn't fall. Our team went 7-0, and well, clearly I've been playing basketball ever since, right? But again, I always say to young girls, basketball is what I do, is not who I am. And this is where people get a little bit confused, because it's about your purpose. What are you here to do? So I figured it out. What am I really passionate about? I'm passionate about people. I naturally love people. I love people no matter where they're from, what language they speak. I love speaking other languages. I love eating other food. Some really good food. Don't forget to try the crabs. They're so very red. Just thought I plugged that because they're excellent. But I love that. Even though my natural personality is I'm much more conservative, I'm more shy than, let's say, my sister, who's completely crazy and outgoing. I'm not as outgoing, but I know my spiritual gift is my ability to speak. And so as I continue to pray and as I continue to grow, it was really a blessing that I picked up the basketball. Because picking up that ball allowed me to travel the world. It allowed me to meet so many different people, and it allowed me to use my spiritual gift, which is my voice. Even when I would say, I would shrink back and I didn't want to talk, and then they'd say, well, here's Team USA. Lisa, come up and say some words. I'm like, what? Why'd you pick me? It's just the way that God would use me to use my voice and have an opportunity to touch the lives of other people. And again, the same way I got here with Layla asking me to come, it's just, that's how God works. And I said, see, you're so funny. Because God is always using me, and I'm so thankful for that. So let me snap back to my basketball years, because that's what's important here. That through playing basketball, I went on to obviously play on Team USA. I made my first junior national team as an 11th grader, which was really amazing. I got a chance to go to Spain. Oh, the food in Spain is great, right? Okay, I'm kind of a foodie. I like good food. But I got a chance to learn a little Spanish, right? Then I went to play overseas. I lived in Italy. Got a chance to learn. I have an Italian family who I love. Got a chance to eat some great food. But again, it came back to the fact that I was able to accept what God gave me. And playing basketball was just part of what my purpose was. But again, reaching the lives of other people. So I say a few things that I did that was very helpful. And I use this even till today. Was writing down my goals. Now, get this, and for the young ladies in the room who are still playing sports, this is very important. When I started writing down my goals, I was in 9th grade. I wrote down my goals. My short-term goals were goals I wanted to achieve within 1 year. So every year, I'd write down these goals, whether it was what grades I wanted to make when I was in school. I'd write down the goals of what I wanted to do in basketball, whether it was to become the best player in the state of California, then I wanted to be the best player in the nation, and, you know, eventually, in my book, you know, one of the best players in the world, right? I mean, that's the goal. And I always say these quotes because I love quotes, but it says, somebody's got to be the best, so why not me? Right? Somebody's got to win the race. Somebody has to be the mayor, right, Mayor? Where's the mayor? There you are. Somebody, why not him? You know, you have to ask yourself, and sometimes we put ourselves in a place where we feel like we're not worthy to achieve those things. But this is where I started to learn, and I learned even from my mom, is that you can do anything that you set your mind to. Now, that may take some hard work and some practice, but why not you? I'm from the inner city in Los Angeles. I'm from Compton, which is a well-known inner city. Have you seen any movies, right? Usually the setting is in Compton. But it didn't mean that had to define who I am and what I'm able to achieve. You see, and sometimes the things that stop us is really just our mind, because we don't believe that we are deserving to achieve those things, or that we can do it because of our surrounding circumstances, right? Yeah. But that's just not the way that it is. It really is about what goals you set in your mind, what you put out in the universe, you get back. How you treat people, you get treated. I mean, it sounds so cliche. All I can tell you is that it works for me.